Eric Borja, and today I got a pretty cool guest, man. I've known him since high school, back in high school, and we actually had a Filipino team, a basketball team that represented Seattle. And I'm not sure if he remembers this, but
Oh, yeah.
we represented Seattle. We went to Canada to play against other Filipino teams, and there was actually, I think, only like seven of us at that time. And a funny story, it was my first time, going to Canada without my family. This was just a bunch of, teenagers going there. And at that time, well, I don't know about now, but I think Canada at that time, the legal age of drinking was 19, I believe, or 18. 18, I forget.
19. It was 19.
Was it 19?
Yeah.
We weren't even 19. I don't think I was 19 at that time. I'm not sure. I don't even know. But one of us was old enough to buy alcohol. It was my first time drinking alcohol, and these guys got me drinking. And do you remember the drink?
I don't remember the drink, but I think weren't we at like Red Robin or something, or one of those kind of restaurants?
I don't remember where we were at, but we had a hotel,
Yeah.
and the drink that one of the guys bought was Goldschlager.
Oh, yeah.
So you remember that, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
Lager, but I was like, what is this? But it was like sweet. It had the little gold flakes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, we went there, and, that was my first time. I don't drink, but man, they had me drinking at that time. But it was fun. It was a good time. We had very, it was fun. We were just being teenagers.
Yeah, yeah.
And but since then, man, we just kind of just saw each other and played against each other in other leagues since then, but I know since that time, Mark had gone through some challenges, and it's pretty cool for him to really put his story out there, his journey of him having cancer. And so today, man, I would love for him to share his journey, his story of what he went through. Hopefully this will inspire people to really keep fighting, and Mark will, share a lot of his battles, his mindset, the things he did before and after and during. And so hopefully that you guys can find something good in it and use it to your advantage, not just with cancer, but with anything in life. And it all starts with his mindset. So without further ado, man, this is my guy, Mark Embry. So go ahead, Mark.
So I guess
Take
let
it
me tell
away,
you
bro.
a little about my background, my family. My wife and I, we have 4 kids. We have an 18-year-old, a 17-year-old,
Wow.
a 12-year-old, and a 9-year-old. So boy, girl, girl, boy. And then let's see. My wife and I have been together a long time, since the late 90s. Both work for Nordstrom. And as you know, the furlough kind of put a pause on that for a little bit. But last year, I started to feel, we're going to go into the cancer thing. Last year, I started to feel kind of weird and sluggish. And if you guys don't already know me, I've participated in numerous like marathons and half marathons and triathlons, and as Eric mentioned, played a lot of basketball. And so I've always had like a lot of energy. Well, in 2018, I took a break actually from the fitness thing and focused in on the new business that I was trying to start on the side, a little side hustle video production business. Kind of one of my other things that I want to talk about in regards to the rest of your life. So anyways, I took my time away from the consistent workouts and this and that, and dedicated to a video production. Well, that means I'm in front of a computer. You're probably not eating the greatest as well. So for about a year, in 2018, I started to notice a little bit of blood in my stool, and I ignored it because I'm almost middle-aged. Currently, I'm 42. Yeah, 42. Almost. Sometimes you forget, right?
After 40, man, you forget.
After 40. it doesn't matter anymore, right?
Doesn't matter anymore.
So I'm middle-aged, and I thought, okay, it could be like a hemorrhoid or anything. Sounds a little embarrassing, but hence why I never really talked about it.
Yeah.
So a little blood in my stool. Well, late 2018, I started to gain a lot of projects. So I had a lot of video production projects, along with trying to maintain my job, along with trying to raise 4 kids, and coach some basketball. So a lot of stuff was on my plate. Decided I'm going to have to pull some all-nighters or late nights on the computer, which is definitely not good for your health. I learned that the hard way. So I started to drink some energy drinks, and I saw a really strong energy drink at Safeway. I was like, let me get a couple of those to pound through a bunch of video production projects that I needed to get through. Well, there was an energy drink that made me feel so weird, like made my blood pressure go really high, which is what that does, right? There's hella sugar in those. And so with that, I had to go to the bathroom like a Friday night, and I like pooped out, I shit it out like a lot of blood. So I was very concerned about that. I actually kept it within myself. I didn't tell anybody. This was October. Turns out, not turns out, I actually planned to go to London for the Seahawks game. And so, concerned about the blood, all the blood coming out of my butt, I kept it in because I also didn't want to miss out on that trip. So as we went through, this is all on my YouTube video. As we went through the week, days were getting closer. I've finished all my video production projects. I've turned them all in. And then we get to the day of the trip, and I tell my wife in the morning, I say, hey, the morning of the trip, which is probably not the best communication with your wife. I tell her, hey, I got this past weekend, I was working and I had a lot of blood come out of my stool. Like it was like a murder in the toilet. It was like really bad, red blood. And I'm fine now. And in case anything happens on the plane, I just want you to know that. On the plane, this is on the way to the airport. What a jerk. Turns out, whatever happened, like God was like, hey, I'm going to let you go on this trip. So I was fine the whole entire trip. We were there for 7 days, no blood in the stool. I was hella tired throughout the whole entire trip. And I was thinking maybe it's just jet lag because, the time difference is crazy. We're sleeping weird hours, blah, blah, blah. We're walking around. So I was really tired. Never felt so lethargic ever in my life. Because like I said, active all the time, always trying to do something, running, hiking, throwing catch out with the kids, anything that you can think of that has to do with fitness. I'm out there doing it. I did not have the energy to do a lot of things. Again, trying to blame it on the jet lag. So we finally get back from the trip. I promised my wife that I would go make an appointment for the doctor. Well, I rarely ever go to the doctor. I've got medical benefits and everything. My kids go, I make them go all the time, but I'm a stubborn man. Sorry.
But most guys are.
Yeah.
Most guys are.
We don't go to the doctor. And I never felt like I needed to go to the doctor. Just put a little bit of Robitussin and, put Vicks all over your body, right? You put Vicks on your, you sprain your ankle, put Vicks. So anyways, never went to the doctor, but I decided, okay, let me make an appointment with my primary care physician, which I never even had one. That's how bad it was. I never even went to the doctor.
You have to look for one, right? You have to look for one.
So he had to find space in his appointment book and his calendar. So I finally get in there, and he checks me out. I give him everything. I tell him everything. And then he grabs my finger and he's like, you could possibly be, he was talking about hemorrhoid, because I was telling him it could be a hemorrhoid. He goes, well, let's do some tests. So he checks my finger, and if you check your finger right now and the blood, your finger, you push it, it's white, and then it doesn't turn red right away, then you could potentially have an iron deficiency. So He noticed that and he said, let's go get a blood test and then I'll call you later. So later on, he calls me in the day. He was like, we need to get you in for a colonoscopy because your red blood count is super low.
Mm.
So iron deficiency, right? It's kind of like urgently low. So you better go in there and let's get you a colonoscopy. So I look it up, you know, my benefits and everything. And colonoscopies are expensive AF, man. And your insurance doesn't cover it unless you are 50 and over. Okay, there's a little bit of an issue right there with insurance.
Yeah.
We can go on to a whole nother thing about that. So you have to be 50 to get a colonoscopy that is covered by your medical insurance. So I was already initially worried about that, but I was like, you know what? I got to get this done because I've never felt like this ever in my life.
Yeah.
So go in, get the colonoscopy, fast forward a little bit to November, and November 15th is when I got the word that there was a tumor inside my rectum. So right at the end of your whole digestional tract, like, sorry, excuse my language, but like right near my asshole. A little small, like this big of a tumor that's cancerous. So from there, all the steps, I had to get my iron back up because I was feeling so tired. I couldn't do any workouts, which really bugged me out.
Yeah.
I paused on the whole video production thing because, you know, I got to focus on my day job, my real job that pays the bills, puts cheese on our burgers, you know, all that, right?
Yeah.
Pause video production. And then from there, beat cancer, get my iron back up, go through all the steps. So starting in January of 2019, I went and got chemo pills, which I had to take 6 of for about 5 weeks, and then radiation on my asshole. And I mean, that's basically what it is. They shot rays to shrink my tumor right at my ass. And that was
over and everything.
That was freaking painful. Hella painful. So walking around, like, I don't know if you remember, but back in February, it was snow, right? We had snow, another Snowmageddon, 2019.
Yeah.
And I love the snow. I love when the city shuts down because I get to go down. I live on a hill and we get to play. I didn't get to do any of that because if I sat on my ass, it would freaking sting so much.
So you have to get up.
I couldn't do anything. Yeah, I couldn't. I was just watching and pooping, shitting, felt like broken glass coming out of my ass.
Ooh,
that's what radiation did to me. Now, I watched all these patients go through in my radiation office where their skin was just jacked, like breast cancer patients' skin was jacked up, all red and burnt. Like we were all like sharing notes on how to like keep your skin like good and this and that. So I went through that for 5 weeks. And then after radiation, I was scheduled to get chemotherapy. So I had chemo pills, got done with the chemo pills, which were very like low dose. And then I actually got a port installed here in my chest and had chemotherapy, the hardcore chemotherapy drugs pushed into my system. And I had to carry a pump every 2 weeks with me at home, strapped to me and a hose stuck here, sleeping with it and this and that. I had to do that for 9 cycles every 2 weeks. So that came out to like 6 months of that. And then in between all that, I had to pause and go get surgery to have my rectum removed. So currently I live without a rectum, which means just to kind of put it in layman's term, it's the last part of your digestive system that stores the poop, and then it fills up, and then it tells you, hey, it's time to go take a shit.
You gotta go.
I don't have that anymore. My stuff goes colon, and then it goes straight to my out. So I don't have storage as like most people can wait a whole entire day, 2 days. I've heard some people don't shit for like 3 days. No. That is not good for your health, by the way.
Yeah, I bet. Right? So what? So you say? So what happens then? So how did I mean, how do you know? Like, I mean, you know, but you gotta go, so you can't hold it, pretty
Yeah,
much.
no, no. I have to plan my days out. So
Mm.
um, I've kind of voluntarily, uh, just so I can have. I'm trying to find my new normal actually right now.
Yeah,
I don't eat after 8, which is what you should be doing anyways, right? 8 p.m.
mhm.
I drink hella water to keep my system, my stool like nice and fluid, the
Yeah,
consistency all like good. And then I basically don't eat after 8, and sometimes I don't eat till noon. So that's intermittent fasting right there,
yeah,
which is
pretty
really
much.
good for
Yep,
your health, right?
yep.
So that's kind of been a blessing. And then I also have to make sure that I don't eat as much processed foods. Um, so eating lots of vegetables and fruits are really good for me because it keeps my poop nice and fluid and this and that, so I can have regular movements, right?
Yeah,
Um, don't eat so much bread and this and that. So going back, I had my surgery in April, and they had to disconnect my system because they had to take out my rectum, connect my colon to my sphincter, and then I had a bag for about 4 months, ileostomy bag. So I was pooping out of a bag out of the side of my abdomen, which
while
was
you're just holding it, you're just holding on to that. I mean,
yeah. No, you
that,
dump it like you
oh,
you dump it every day.
right.
So I was doing that.
But you have it. You have
Yeah.
it with you.
Oh yeah. Have it with me. I
And
actually traveled to Sacramento on an airplane with this bag of poop, or I had again strategically had to eat. I strategically ate certain
yeah,
times. So if I was gonna hop on an airplane, I wasn't gonna eat or drink or anything like that. It was
mhm,
so weird to have a part
yeah,
of my intestine coming out of my abs. Weird.
crazy.
So crazy. So laparoscopic surgery did all that. They didn't have to open me up, which was a great thing. And so then 4 months later, I got that removed. My stuff was healed down there. Again, I don't have a rectum at this point today. And so I've been healing since September, officially, by the way,
Mhm.
September 2019. The doctor said you are now cancer free. So that was great news. But my journey wasn't over
Yeah,
because I still had to heal from all the surgeries that had gone through my system. I still have, they say that chemo still like lingers in your body. So I'm like, I got to let all that flesh out. My skin is still healing partially. It's still like weak from the radiation that I went through last year. And so today, um, I'm going to say I'm about 99% um,
nice.
healed,
Yeah,
with still trying to, like I said, like normalcy, trying to figure out what my normalcy is. I'm
right.
still trying to hoop. Like
Yeah.
I get out there and ball with my kids.
Hmm.
I went and played ball like maybe about a month ago, right before we were told to stay home. And I pushed it.
Hmm.
Um, I had to strategically not eat so I could
Yeah,
play.
yeah.
You're weak
Because you're
after
not
that.
trying to be out there and
Yeah.
then you gotta go.
Yep.
I'm in there.
Exactly. So
So let's
where I'm at, that's where I'm at today.
yeah, and that's I think that's I mean a lot of us are going through that, like what's going to be our new norm, you know what I mean, and we're still trying to figure that out. For you there's a lot, a lot of things that you're trying to learn still, so I wanted to go back to the day that you told your wife,
Yeah.
hey, I went to the bathroom and this is what I found.
Yeah.
So what did she say to you?
Um, you know, I felt like she knows that I'm a pretty strong person in general. So um, it was mainly like, what are we gonna tell the kids? Uh, how are they gonna take it? What are we gonna do at this point? Because it was really, we knew that people die from cancer, but
Yeah,
I never actually had that in my mind.
yeah.
Like, I'm gonna beat it. Like,
Hmm.
and I actually had people ask me like, so what's your expectancy? And I thought, expectancy? What do you mean by expectancy?
Yeah, right.
I'm not dying. Like, you're talking life expectancy? I'm gonna beat this thing. Like, all I know is like, how am I gonna come out of this? What's gonna be left of me? Am I gonna have messed up skin, like this and that, or whatever?
But death
But
wasn't like in your mind, like, nah.
no, not at all. Like same thing. What we're all going through right now. Like after, like what's after COVID? Like what do
Yeah.
we do next after this? Because
Right.
we're like, I'm not gonna get it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
positive thinking in that way.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
The pessimist in me about like what's going to happen to potentially my job and the economy, I'm like, okay, let me plan towards not
Hmm.
going back to Nordstrom if they can't bring
Hmm.
me back, you know?
Hmm.
That's where I'm pessimistic. But optimism wise, like, what am I going to do next? Like, because I know that I've got a lot of other things that I want to do. What's my next step? That's
Right.
what I'm going to do.
Right.
Cancer, what's my next step? I'm
Hmm.
already moving on because I don't have time to dwell on
Yeah.
crappy stuff that's happening. Like I got cancer, so let's go through all the steps. Let me get through to step number 10 out of
Yeah.
10, and let me move on with my life because I'm gonna live till 100 something.
Because I think, like we talked earlier about, like, you know, I think when you start to realize the worst case,
Yeah.
you accept the worst case scenario,
Yep.
it's a lot easier for you to plan out your future.
Oh
Because I
yeah.
think when you're in the moment of just, not accepting, like, oh, this can't happen, you freeze and you don't know what to do. You're dwelling into those negative thoughts. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So let me ask you a question. So what made you be that person that only thinks of the positive versus the negative? What did you read books? Is it the people you're around? What is it?
I think, I have to attribute my positivity to my mom. She's always been such a positive person and just a happy-go-lucky type of mentality. She's been through a lot too. I mean, she's an
Hmm.
immigrant and went through quite a bit coming here, landing in Canada. She entry-level jobs. She had to raise me alone for a long time, and she still made it through. And she comes out with a smile. If
Hmm.
you ever meet her, she's like the most positive person, and I think that was contagious to me. Um, so yeah, I think it comes from her. I don't read anything.
Hmm.
I actually just started to recently, even prior to Kobe passing away, I was putting on little inspirational, motivational videos.
Hmm.
Um, and I actually did follow a little bit of some Lance Armstrong quotes because he beat cancer. But this was way,
Yeah.
way back during his Live Strong campaign. So I
Hmm.
was a little inspired by some of that.
Yeah.
But I think I was just more motivated on things that I wanted to do in my life.
Mm.
Like, I want to do that, so I'm going to do that. And I also had to consider, like, is this hurting anybody? What I want to do in my life, is it taking away from someone else? That was also a consideration
Yeah.
because I fed off of people's, like, energy.
Yeah.
If you know me and you've hung out with me, if you are a negative person, I kind of don't like, it's hard for me to be around you.
Yeah.
If we're not vibing like
Yeah.
in a positive way,
Yeah.
then I probably am not going to call you.
Yeah. We'll
Or
just we'll just go, we'll just pass
yeah,
by,
yeah,
pass each other up, and that's it,
yeah. I mean, what's up? Hey, cool, good
Yeah,
to see you. Hey,
exactly.
we'll talk. Let's talk later. If you want to go for a run, then let's go. Let's go get this because it brings endorphins into my body, and I'm much
Yeah.
more positive, right? It's
Yeah.
like, but if you're gonna like take my energy levels down and
Yeah, man.
you're gonna take my mood away from me,
Hmm.
then, or if you're gonna tell me that, hey, man, I actually have a family member that battled cancer too, and this person continuously like would give me the negatives about what they went through, and
Yeah.
I appreciate that because I needed to know what was going on, like what could I
Hmm.
potentially be going through, like
Hmm.
you can't do this, you can't do that, and you don't do this and don't eat that, and I thought, all right, that's great news. What anything positive come out of your journey? Like there's some good things that you experienced, right? Like your family came together, like this and that, but I wasn't getting any of that, so it was really hard for me to like
Yeah.
interact with this person. And
Yeah.
it would be like long text paragraphs too. Like, dude, text is SMS, short message system. It's not where you put paragraphs of how shitty
Yeah.
your life
It's not a
was.
book. Yeah.
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 So yeah, the positivity
So,
was given to me by my mom, laid down,
you
and
know,
then
yeah.
I just kind of gravitated towards that.
Yeah. So, and that's great because I think a lot of it, like for me, I get it from my parents too. They're always about, growing up in a Christian home. They always say,
Yeah,
if anything, trust in God, trust your faith.
yeah,
If there's anybody that's going to be there at all times, it's Him. You know what
yep,
I mean? And so, but it's all about thinking for the better,
yeah.
and not nothing worse than that. But now, what was going through your mind when you found out, that you had cancer?
Um, I I like to already think ahead of what I'm going to do. And then when I got cancer, I had to put a lot of stuff on hold, which I don't like to do.
Like
Like I
what?
even like think about I think about the week,
Hmm.
right? And I know what I'm gonna do on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And when someone wants to like throw in a spur of the moment thing, like, hey, by the way, we're celebrating so and so, blah blah blah, and you got to be there. Like, damn, that's on Wednesday, and I was already planning on doing this on Wednesday, so that really messed me up. So when it came to cancer, I already knew like, well, I'm not going to be able to coach my kids because I'm going to be doing this. I'm
Hmm.
not going to be able to continue on with my video production because I got to concentrate on
Yeah.
beating cancer. Um, it was a lot of it was surrounding like my side life, my fitness, I love cycling. Well, it just so happens I got to sit on my ass that has cancer, and that
That ain't gonna
that
work.
bike seat is riding all up in your crack.
Yeah.
So
That's why I don't write a lot.
yeah, so that running, like I said, coaching my kids. So I had to put that on hold. I was at home. I missed a lot of events last year. I didn't go to a lot of weddings, um, parties, people's birthdays, as you know, like I'm pretty social. I'm a social
Yeah.
guy,
Yeah, you sure are. Yeah.
and I wasn't doing that.
Yeah.
And I wasn't. My social activity was being at the hospital at the Swedish Cancer Institute.
You
So
were just,
shout out
yeah.
to them.
Following your story throughout your journey with it,
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, you were there a lot, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
it was cool to see, part of what people that have cancer go through. It's at times it's scary, you
yeah,
know, but a lot of it there's inspiration that you get from it. And what I got from listening to and watching your story is more just like, man, it's almost like, oh, okay, this is what it is, and I'm gonna just go ahead and adapt. What do I need to do
yeah,
to maintain or to live this life now?
yeah.
It wasn't like, oh man, I can't do this no more, I can't do that no more. It's like, okay,
Right.
let me figure this out.
Flex. You got
um
to flex.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now I know, you had obviously to talk to your kids and let them know what was the conversation like, and what was the planning with your wife. How did you tell the kids, and what was their reaction?
You know, I think because of my demeanor and my positivity on beating this, because I told them like we're gonna beat this. This is like no worries. There's gonna be a
Mhm.
few days where it's gonna be uh, I'm not gonna have the most energy. Chemo's gonna take a lot out of me. Um, so they were like, okay, well just let us know what you need and we'll be here.
Yeah.
And they were sensitive to things, but I wouldn't say that I was ever masking or hiding anything that I was going through. Like I was pretty transparent with everything that I was going through. However, they were for the most part my issues. Like there's no reason for me to take. I don't need you to carry me anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't need you to wash my ass. I don't need you to feed me because I
Yeah.
got my arms. I'm still good. Like
Yeah, man.
I'm a pretty strong person and strong mentality. I have a strong mentality. So they knew that I had cancer. They were sensitive to it. My youngest son said, "Hey dad, so after you beat cancer, will you coach my team again?" This was all through it. So
Wow.
they knew that I was going to beat it.
Yeah.
They knew that I'm sure that they were positive that I was going to be able to give them away at the wedding or at their wedding,
Yeah.
see them through their graduation, all that stuff. So there wasn't a point. And again, there are so many people that deal with cancer and they think their life is over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, your mind is your mind is a terrible thing to no, your mind is so strong
Yeah.
that if you've ever gone through like a stressful time, your health deteriorates too, like your body deteriorates too. Well,
Fast. Fast.
I was not going to I just never have that in my mind anyways.
Mm-hmm.
When I have a cold or I feel a little bit of sniffles, I always tell Marisa, like, I'm not going to say the word. I'm not going to say
Yeah.
that 4-letter word. I'm not.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm just going to drink a lot of orange juice and vitamin C, but I'm not saying I'm sick. I'm not going to say that because once I say that word, I'm going to get sick.
Yep. Like they said, man, what you think about expands. And so, it's like, man, same thing, man. I do the same thing. Like when I start to feel a little bit, I'm like, I'm not gonna give it any energy. You know what I mean? I'm gonna just do what I do every single day still.
Exactly.
And I actually did this before where I did feel sick, right?
Yeah.
And I told myself, okay, I'm gonna get sick. I just wanted to. I really wanted to see.
Yeah.
And you know what? I got sick.
Oh, really? Dang.
Man, it's crazy. You know what I mean? But I wanted to. I wanted to change. That's because majority of the time, I don't even give energy to it. When I feel the sniffles, when I feel the throat, when you wake up, the stuffy nose and stuff like that, I'm like, I'm not thinking about it. I just do what I usually do every single day.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the next day, you don't even feel it no more.
Don't feed into it.
Don't feed into it, man.
Yeah.
Don't feed into it.
Yeah.
So I know going through this, cancer, through that journey, was there ever a time where you got burnt out? Your mind started to like go this way now.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So when was that?
I actually had a few moments, short moments, that when I was going through pain with radiation and I was, getting on the toilet and I'm like, and I would scream into the towel, like, this has got to end. I can't do this I don't know how long I could do this for. And I would go through that probably for a good 5 minutes and then get myself out of it. Said, all right, reset.
Yep.
I'm good. I've washed up. It doesn't feel painful right now at the moment until an hour later or whatever.
Again, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'll go through it again.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll suck. And then, weeks later, I'm like, when is this going to be over? I'm so tired of this.
Mm-hmm.
I need my life back. I would go through and look at pictures of, my running buddies and cycling and hooping with my guys and the team and all that. And I'm like, what, am I going to get that life back? I don't know. But, I would always think, okay, how can I flex with this condition and still get out there? Because there's still things that you can do.
Yeah.
And I would have that as a way to like, all right, I still can do things. I'm still blessed. And if you look through my Facebook posts, I'm like, #blessed. It's so cliche to say, but I'm doing way better than most people that deal with cancer, that deal with anything in their life.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, or even without cancer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's, man, and that's huge.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But no, it's so those times, it sounds like, and during those times that you were kind of going through those, you needed those moments, you know what I mean? To kind of snap you back. You need it.
Everybody does. Yeah.
And so it sounds like when you were going through those moments, what helped you was kind of going back to like, okay, what you wanted to do, what once once you beat the cancer, this is what I want to do, So you kind of went back to your motivation.
Right.
things that inspired you to keep moving forward.
Well,
So
there's so many things, as you grow up, hopefully everybody has this in their mind. Like, there's so many things that you have planned to do in your life. I
mhm.
mean, obviously, I wanted to become an NBA player. That's way beyond, you know. Um, but video production actually was one of the things. I just wanted to have a job that was creative, and I knew
Mhm,
that I hadn't done that yet.
mhm,
So I thought, okay, after this is all over, I'm gonna go do that.
mhm,
Or, just like after COVID, like I'm
mhm.
gonna go do.
Yeah.
If Nordstrom doesn't happen, I'm gonna go push my side hustle that I love to do. I'm gonna go do something that I love to do. And when I was beating cancer, I was fighting cancer. Um, I actually had that perspective. Like I got stuff to do after, and I cannot wait to get done with this so then I can start that.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I also, kind of an interruption of that, I want to give a shout out to everybody that supported me throughout all this.
Yeah.
Like I had
Yeah.
so many friends and family like put on events for us to help us financially, which is such a big help, not only to our pocketbook, our wallet, but like mentally,
I was gonna say, yeah.
to not have to worry about the financial implications of going through surgeries and chemotherapies, because my insurance wasn't paying 100% of that. Like I was still had to drop cheese
Yeah,
for
dish out,
for,
yeah.
for stuff. And I mean, let's just talk about like parking, just going there and parking,
Mhm.
and you're
Oh,
there
yeah.
for the whole entire day. And I had to do that every day. So to load up a card that people hooked me up with and just pay with that and not have to worry about that, that's one less thing on my mind
Yeah.
that would take away from my healing, my mind
Mhm,
healing my body. That
mhm.
was great. So I just want to give a shout out again to all the friends and family
Yeah,
that
yeah, for sure, man. For
not
sure.
only supported me financially, but like the texts and the Facebook messages, including you, man. Thank you for
Yeah.
the
No worries, man.
positivity. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was all everybody. Like the network was just amazing, and I'm
Mhm,
grateful for all that. Um,
mhm.
yeah, all the prayers too
Yeah.
at St. Ed's and St. Therese and all the churches, like actually saying my name and
Mhm.
and giving me praise and giving me positive prayers. It was amazing, and
Yeah.
all y'all need that. I'm just saying.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. No, man, this is, when things like this happen in life, man, it shows what kind of hearts people have. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? It really shows. And part of that though is you, the connection you've made, the connections you've made, the person you are, the authenticity that you put out there. It causes people to show the love that they have for you when those things happen, and so that's a huge credit to yourself, man.
appreciate
So
that.
but man, I also wanted to ask you, what is it that you want to want people to know, going
Yeah,
through this? I mean, what do you want them to know, man, just to help them battle, any, not just cancer, but mental barriers,
yeah.
addiction, whatever it is. So what would you let people know?
Kind of what going back to things that you love to do in your life. I think that you should never let those go. Outside of, again, like those professional athlete type of
Yeah,
things, you
yeah,
can
yeah.
still
Got it.
participate in those kind of things, but like
You're right.
always have that mind state that it's not impossible to go and get those things that you want to do in your life. Like there's so many stories out there that are, turned into movies of
Hmm.
people like maybe they were down and out, homeless, they got a disease or whatever, but there's ways to still make your goals in your life. um, Cancer was just uh, kind of just a speed bump
Yeah.
to slow me down before I can actually pursue video production or,
Mhm.
um, those kind of things. So I think mainly have a positive perspective on the things that you still want to do in your life. Go for those things that you want to. You don't have to work in the system that you don't want to. Like I would say life is short. That was actually one of the big messages that I got from getting cancer. Like I could have died. I
Mhm.
honestly, if I had let,
Yeah.
if I had ignored that bloody stool in my poop go on, I might not even be here today. The cancer could have spread throughout my whole entire body if I just let it go.
Yeah.
So again, the fact that I discovered it kind of kick me in the pants and say, hey, by the way, if you don't go do your thing that you wanted to do, you might not be able to go do it. So you got to just go and do it.
I do it. Yeah.
Just go and do it. And obviously don't take anybody down in the process of you trying to go get your stuff,
Right.
trying to go get your goal, trying to make your goals. Like, you know, it's very important to uplift yourself, but don't bring people down.
Right.
So for me, I had been mentoring others at Nordstrom to say, hey, I know that you want to climb the ranks of, because what we're supposed to do, go through the buying office and do all these jobs and this and that, but is that really what you want to do in your life? Like, you love photography, you keep showing me all these things. Let's look for a job in that way. Like, that's what you want to do, because you don't want to wake up every day and not want to, you don't want to dread the job that you are supposedly trying to follow. Like, let's go do the thing that you want to do. And that's what I thought of when I was going through cancer. Like, I'm going to go do what I want to do after this, because this is what kind of a wake up call in a way to go like experience the next half of my life. Like, right. I'm only 40 something. I, as much as I really love Nordstrom, and thank you for having me for so long. I've learned a lot from them, and now I'm going to kind of like push my video production a little bit further and do what I want to do in my life. And that was a great thing that cancer kind of like alerted me that I need to go do.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I know we do go through some things that that makes us realize, like, you know what, I really want to do this, you know, before anything ends, you know, you know, I want to make sure that I'm able to, you know, make a difference, you know.
Make a
And
difference.
I've seen your videos, man. Your videos are dope. You know what I mean? And I love how you go through the high schools, because a lot of them are, you know, a lot of the people that hire you are in high school, right?
Like the parents.
Parents. Okay, yeah, and it's cool to see.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you know want to deliver, man? You know, like I said, man, your story is inspirational, and I want to make sure that you really, you know, put out there what you really want to relay to the community.
I think it really is stay positive as best as you possibly can. That's my overall message. I think, and my motto for a long time, ever since I started running, because running was like nobody likes to run. Let's just be honest.
I know.
Right? The first time right? It's like, it's crucial to help you with your health, sort of. The first time I ran and I crossed the finish line, I thought, wow, I can't believe I just crossed the finish line on a 5K. Like, this is 3 miles, right? And I thought, I never thought I'd ever be able to do this. And I did. And I thought, okay, my motto from now on is going to be, if you think you can, then you will.
You will, yeah.
And that goes with the whole mentality of just everything that I thought. Like, if you think you're going to be sick, then you're going to be sick, right? If you think that tomorrow's going to suck, then it's going to suck, dude. So anything that you want to do, you just got to put your mind into it and actually put the effort into it. Then you're going to make it happen. So that's my overall message. If I'm going to beat cancer, if I thought I was going to beat cancer, then I'm going to beat cancer. There was no doubt. There's no doubt. We're going to beat this. Yeah.
And the dope part about you thinking that way is you acted that way.
You have to.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You weren't just thinking it, you know, like God says, a man can have faith, but if he doesn't do the work, man, it's dead faith. You know what I mean? And so what you did is you had the mental mindset of, yes, I'm going to beat cancer. I'm going to keep doing this. But every day you practiced it. You know what I mean? It wasn't like you're sitting in bed, you know, like, I'm good, you know, but you're out there still trying to be normal. You know what I mean? Within reason, you know.
Actions speak louder than words, right?
Yeah, for sure, man. You know, like I said, you know, I think, that's with anything, you know, when we set a goal, if we set a goal, we have to do the work.
Yeah.
It ain't just going to come to us.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it does start with our mind. Then our bodies will follow. You know, one thing, you know, you talked about, you know, the mindset, you know, things that you want to do. And then when you say you're going to do it, you're going to do it. But it starts with your head. I remember one of my mentors, and I had him on a couple of days ago, Thatch, big real estate guy,
Yeah.
and man, when I first got into real estate, and I said this in our talk, um, I didn't realize real estate was about mindset. I mean, I was young, you know what I mean? I mean, we played basketball, we had the mindset to play, we had the mindset, we had confidence and stuff like that. But he challenged us, and what we did that I didn't think we can ever do, we walked on fire. You
Oh,
know,
whoa.
man, I'm telling you, man,
Wow.
this is not fake. It was not fake.
Yeah.
Trust me, we walked on fire.
Yeah.
You can feel the heat. You can feel the heat, like, man, just on you. You know, if you're like in front of your fireplace, you can feel it,
Yeah.
right? And the biggest thing that caused me to walk over it is, number one, you got to think. So we practice a lot of the things, how to, challenge ourselves. We were breaking boards, before those were the exercises we did before we did the walk. We
Yeah.
meditated. We tried to visualize walking on the other side of this fire, things like that. What is it that's going to cause you to walk on the other side? Things like that, or like, all right, so we were ready. Like, okay, cool. We got this, we get out there. Once you walk out the door, you feel the heat already.
Oh my gosh, I'd be tripping already.
Exactly. No, we were like, oh, but then see, here's the thing, we had to practice like that's not what you're thinking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you thought that, you were gonna burn.
Right.
And so we're there. So I'm there in front of it. It's just burning coals. I mean, like, man, you can see the heat. It was bright. And
Yeah.
so I'm already in my mind, I've already made the decision. I'm going to walk over there. I'm going to walk over there. I stood there for some time. And finally, the lady that was, that helped us out, that kind of helped us with the exercise and helped us with our mind and stuff like that. She was like, Eric, what's important on the other side? What is it that, what is something that's, that's emotional to you? What is your biggest why? Why are you doing this? Why are you trying to get to the other side? And the first thing that came in my mind was, number one, my faith. God's on the other side, and my family.
Yeah.
And the crazy part is, my mind wasn't even ready yet. It wasn't telling me like, I'll start walking. But once I started to think that my family needs my help on the other side, and God's over there, it's like, hey, come on,
Yeah.
something pulled me. And all I felt was just like it felt like popcorn. You know what I mean? You can feel you can feel the coals on my feet. Just, it felt like you can just hear it. Like if you're, smashing popcorn,
Oh
that's
my
what it
God.
sounded like. But you don't feel the heat, nothing at all. Nothing. And it was about, I would say maybe about 8 feet long, 8 to 10 feet long.
That's hella long, dude.
Yeah, exactly. And so the funny part is, there were 3 people that got burned. There was probably about maybe 15 of us. 3 people got burned. They had blisters and stuff like that. But these 3 people, guess what happened? The whole week prior to this walk, they were talking about, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think we're gonna get burned. I think we're gonna get burned.
Yeah.
That was their conversation. Everybody else, like, dude, stay away from me, man. Don't talk to me. Like, seriously, I told them that too. I was like, hey, man, I don't want to hear it, man. All I'm trying to do is focus on walking this fire.
Yeah.
Man, what do you know? That was it. The difference was just the mental, state that you were in at that moment. And so that's what you're doing, man. That's it. That was your mental state, and that's what you practice, So, Mark, man, again, always thinking and praying for you, man. Your family, your health, especially during this time. But man, you battled through something bigger than this. I feel like, you know what I mean? Now it's just trying to figure out, our new norm. Your new norm. And so, man, I hope that I hope that your journey will touch someone that needs to hear this. Because there are, like you said earlier, man, there's people that will, think differently.
Yeah.
And fail, and it starts with your mind. And so I hope that when we can have this story and share the story out there, that it touches that person, it
Yeah.
makes that person realize, you know what, I can do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can do this. I can Mark did it, you know, so I think I can do it. That's the only difference, that I feel like someone winning and losing.
Yeah.
It's your mind.
So I
So
also want to
yeah.
add the whole failure and losing thing. I think a lot of people take that as negatives when actually losing and failing are great opportunities to learn how
Hmm.
to win.
Hmm. Yep.
The cliche sayings are, you know, like, hey, Michael Jordan lost so many games before he could win or whatever. You know, he was cut from the team, and that probably helped him get motivated. Well, you got to lose and you got to fail. I think
Yeah.
I teach my kids today, it's like, you have to fail.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know how to lose or you don't know how to fail, it's really hard to get up if you are, you know, like undefeated and
Hmm. Yeah.
never felt the loss before.
Yep.
So it's really important to take those losses and fails
Mhm.
as a learning experience and not as just complete negative, like you're down. You're not down and out.
Yeah. Yeah. I think also too, you know, failure, you know, you also want to make sure that, you know, when you fail trying. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I think a lot of
exactly.
people, just try to fail and don't even try. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? You know, it's you learn more when you try and fail
yeah,
versus you just don't even try and you fail. Like you never know, you know. But yeah, no, those are good. Those are good words and good. I think with every negative thing that we go through, there's always something good that we can find, find from it.
yeah.
But it also, again, it all starts with how you think, your perspective of it, you
Most
know.
definitely.
And so, man, any last words, bro, before we sign off?
No, I appreciate this interview.
Yeah,
Uh, I I haven't gotten tired about talking about my journey.
man, I love it, man.
So
Love it,
uh,
because I think you should keep sharing, you
yeah, I
know.
feel like it's a win. It's a win
Mhm.
that I want to continue to advertise. You know.
Yep, for sure. For sure. And we need a lot more people like yourself doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because like I said, man, when you can promote that good positive vibe out there, it just consumes people. There's nothing else to
yeah,
think about but just, okay, we got this. You know what I
yeah. I
mean?
mean, with your success too, when I see all you guys in your real estate businesses and all the small businesses that I grew up with a lot of people like my boy Dang. He's got a great restaurant over here. Unfortunately, you know, we're all going through some stuff, but like just to see those successes
Hmm.
really fuels me to do what I can do on my end in my swim lane and be motivated by
Yeah.
him, by you, by Marissa Beach, my cousin.
Yeah. Your cousin. Yeah.
Yep. Um, all these, my sister, she has a dog grooming business, and I was kind of being a hater when she came in, like, oh, the dog grooming, there's a lot of dog groomers here. She's actually
Uh-huh.
really successful, and I'm like fueled by that.
Yeah.
She does that, like all y'all. So
Yeah.
positive, like I know Facebook, that's all a lot of the times that's what we see, you
Hmm.
know, like
Yeah. Yeah.
only the wins,
Yeah.
but it does fuel us and we're all motivated by like, and your workouts too. Those workouts, I get motivated either by, I got to get off my ass to go
Man.
get my workout on. Cause Eric got his in and Jeff got his in. And you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like everybody's doing their thing. Like there are people that would take it negatively. Like, oh, you know, I'm not that kind of person, blah, blah, blah. I don't need to do that. I don't know why they try to, you know,
Show it off.
show off that they're doing all these workouts. Like, no, because they're trying to motivate and they're proud of themselves too. You should be proud of
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah, no, like I said, it holds me accountable,
Yeah,
because if I
that
was,
too.
if I wasn't doing, if I wasn't posting it, it'd be easy for me to just like, it's cool, ain't nobody watching anyways, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? So I don't
yeah,
do it, but now people start to expect it,
yep,
now it's like, oh shoot, you kind of put yourself out there, but that's it, goals are meant to be exposed. Goals are,
yep,
because when you expose it, it holds you accountable to it, you
yep,
know what I mean? So it's a lot easier to really get off your butt to
yep,
do it when you do put it out there, not to show off, not to, to say I'm better than you or anything like that, but it's more up to like, you know what, hold me accountable.
yep.
When you don't see it, I didn't work out. So that, like,
Right.
to me, it's like, oh dang, man,
Yeah,
it's not good.
I'm being a
But yeah,
lazy
no,
butt.
no, no,
Yeah,
everybody, it is fun. It is motivating to see friends that you grew up with being successful,
yeah,
not just physical success, financial success, but mental success,
yeah,
battles like yourself, those right there inspire, us to just do more. You
Yeah.
do, within our community, within ourselves, that hopefully affects the community. And so, but that's all we're trying to do here, man.
Yep.
We're really trying to be out there and be positive leaders, small leaders,
All you need is just one person
Yeah.
to be to influence or influence you, right? It's just one.
Mhm. That's it.
And if you get
That's
more
all
than
you
that, like, wow, that's a great win.
Yeah, exactly. And that's all you need, man. I think once you do that, I think you serve your purpose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You've changed someone's life, because that one person may be this big influencer
Mm-hmm.
in a bigger stage. You
Yep.
know what I mean? Just because of your story.
Yep.
So that's the whole point of this, man. So, man, again, Mark, I appreciate you. I
Thank you.
appreciate your story. Again, thinking and praying for you as always, as well with the community and area and everyone in the world, man. We're gonna get through this together.
Yeah.
And hopefully that you have a great day, and
You too,
man, we just keep pushing forward, bro.
You keep doing you.
Yeah, thank you, man. Until then, everyone, man, stay home, stay healthy.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get through this. And then cover up. Other than that, man, this is it with Mark Embry being queued up. All right. Until next time, God bless, and talk to you soon.
All right.